Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach.
Coach, we are just about set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. A few moments ago, they raised the 12th man banner, and this place, as usual, rocking and rolling. Straight ahead, a rematch of Super Bowl 48, and it should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
He's always been an incredible decision maker on the field. Takes care of the ball really well, puts his team in the right positions, makes sure the play calls are accurate. Also was a minor league baseball player. Didn't hit very well there. I think he made a great career choice picking football.
Check, walk 54, walk 54. I got him. Check 99, check 99. Let's go, 4 down, 4 down. 25, check 25. Shit. 40. Tight up. Kill. Check. Fresno. Check your hot read. Check that. Alert.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Well. Check nickel. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Hatchet. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Smith. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On the delay, here's Carson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Now Smith on 3rd and goal. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Switch. Alert three. Want that. Switch it. 14. Watch out.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Crunch. 40. Big Ed. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Here we go.
Still 1st down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Let's go. Check 15. Check clear. Check hot route.
Here's Wilson. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there. No return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd down. Smith. That's complete into the hands of Carson. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk 1st.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They run it with Carson. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Carson. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because...
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
We got double up, double up. Shoot! 12. Here we go. 56. Mike, pre-alert.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go. You got tight right there. Show it.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Wilson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Zebra. 19.
Again, Wilson. Forced out to his left. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Now Gordon. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done, so I think going for it there was the right call.
Now on 2nd and 13, Smith. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. They'll let this go deep for Sutton. He's got a man, complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
He's crazy. Hey, alert. Hey, alert. Joker. Kill. Hey, guys, listen. Hey, turn it out. Watch safety creep. There. Safety's creeping. Safe. Check 9. Good job right there. Move the team. Slam. Check three. Jim. Hey, easy. Cut.
Now Wilson. Gonna throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Third and long, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now on fourth down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Now Geno, incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but it's going to be second down. Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now it's Smith, and that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Metcalf once again the target, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Well, he's going to go for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say not get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. On 2nd and 7, Smith. He'll find Ballore out of the backfield. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Smith on 3rd down. And he's got his man on the out route.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They run again with Carson, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Smith. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been an automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Smith. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
Myers' kick is good, and the lead extends. It's 15-0. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson throwing again, being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go deep. It's caught inside the 25. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. From his goal line here, Smith. Now they struggled to get, and he goes down, and it's in the end zone. Smith goes down in that end zone. That is a safety. So the defense does their job. They get rid of that 0 on the scoreboard. Now we'll see if their offense can come to play.
Well, that's the way you get things started, right? Score yourself on defense, get the ball back for your offense, and tell them, let's go. We're in the game now.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Let's go deep. Got it. Let's go deep. Tighten up. Kill. Check. Frag down. Got it. Still got it. 4 down. Tempo. 3, 9,
Play action. It's Wilson rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Give him 30 yards there. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Throwing is Wilson, escaping the pressure right. He completes this to Sutton. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 at the 19. Wilson steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Hatchet. Watch the shit. 12.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up 1st and goal. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Now Wilson. Flushed out right. He's going to take off, and he will score. Touchdown, Denver. An 8-yard touchdown run as his guys are back within a single score. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
No. Davis from the top rope. I like it. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he works free.
I know the special teams coach will not permit himself a smile here, but inside, he's glowing. This is what he practices for. This is what he schemes. This is what he watches tape to put himself and his team in a position to score points. An absolute dream return.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Gino now to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. it's a mental aspect that's going on, because right now he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson, he'll try and run it, and I think the ball's out.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So it should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball, and that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
A nice burst there as he'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. From the 17, Wilson eluding the pressure right. Got a man open in Sutton. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Now it's Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Flush to his right, and he's going to keep it here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. They run it here with Gordon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking to go back to Sutton there, and it's 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Wilson to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. As they are now an extra point away from perhaps stealing one here in the final minute. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused, because they still have some work to do?
That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. After the sack on first down, Smith dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. They run the counter. Carson. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far.
Here we go.
First throw in overtime now for Wilson. Now he'll pull it down. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Undercut. Check 50, check 50.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. And quickly they get to the line. This is Gordon as they go to him again. It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. Now a first throw here in overtime. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He's got his 6'5 receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. This is the tight end Fant. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson, nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. Oh, Oh, so close but incomplete. Could have been a big turnover in overtime if he'd held on. Instead, though, it's 4th down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. A field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Back to the air, Smith on 2nd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That's what I'm talking about.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
To throw is Smith. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And here's your ball game, down 3 in overtime, but they're going for this thing on 4th down. Back to throw, Smith.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A shotgun snap for Smith. It's complete to Lockett. The 20. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.